What did we need as children? So as children, we need what are known as good enough parents. You know, most people have their own trauma. No one's perfect. Everyone's doing the best they can with what they have. So most parents don't meet the criteria of a good enough parent. A good enough parent will be able to provide the child with unconditional love. So they'll love the child no matter what. Many children grow up with conditional love, so they're forced, you know, to do things, to perform roles within the family unit, maybe to be perfectionists, to do well at school. And if they're not performing, then, you know, they're not receiving love. Unconditional acceptance. A good enough parent needs to be patient. They need to be dependable. The child needs to know that they're going to get their needs met, that there's always going to be food on the table, that they're always going to be picked up and, you know, comforted when they need comforting. Good enough parents can have their own sense of individuality. So until the age of 3, a baby can't tell the difference between themselves and the outside world. It's not until we start, you know, being able to move around, once we start kind of becoming toddlers, that we start to get our own sense of individuality. You were a we before you became an I. So a good enough parent needs to, you know, they need to have their own sense of individuality. They need to know who they are. They need an internal locus of control. So they need to be able to take responsibility for their actions. Obviously, you know, a parent who blames a child for being born isn't a good enough parent. So what else will a good enough parent have? Let me know in the chat box. Can you hear me okay, Monica? What else do you think a good enough parent should have? Let me know in the chat box. Self-reflection, yeah, that's a good one. Time, self-awareness, these are very good answers. To understand right from wrong, yeah. Love, emotional maturity, yeah. Anyone else? Self-esteem, yeah. Financial stability, a nurturing nature, compassion, these are empathy, these are great answers. So as children, we need to connect with a mothering person who's emotionally regulated, safe and reliable. And the relationship with the mothering person is going to be the most important relationship for any child. It's going to form the foundation for all future relationships. As I said previously, the baby sees everything as them pushed out. They can't tell the difference between themselves and their parent. So they're reliant on the parent for emotional regulation. If their parent is dysregulated, a baby's going to pick up on that and it's going to make them more dysregulated. Now, if you've ever tried to comfort a baby who's crying and, you know, they won't stop crying, maybe they've got an ear infection or something, and that crying, you know, causes you to become anxious, that makes them play up more. So they're looking to the parent to help them regulate their emotions. And of course, in the womb, the baby is going to feel the emotions that the mother feels. So if the mother feels anxious and depressed, the baby's going to pick up on that. They're going to become anxious and depressed.